Chapter 6, The Three Types of Men. We saw in the preceding chapter that the tree of life is just not a list of faculties and their relationship. It is a tool for thinking about life, for understanding ourselves, for guiding the process of developing ourselves. Using the tree of life as a guide, we are able to see that the differences in moral, spiritual, and mental capabilities between people can be classified into three types of people. Following the divisions of the spirit, the three types of people have been designated as the Ba or Ausar man, the Ab man, and the Sahu man. Each of these types carry out the same functions in life through different spheres according to their level of evolution, spiritual development. The following illustration will make this clear. Energy dynamics of the Ba or Ausar man, 0 Amen, inner peace, and of the Sahu man, sphere 10 Geb, tension, seeking happiness. Identity of the Ba or Ausar man, sphere 1, Ausar divine self, and the Ab man is sphere 6, Heru, individuality, and the Sahu man, sphere 9, Aset, person. Nose through, in the Ba or Ausar man, sphere 2, Tehuti, wisdom. In the Ab man, it is sphere 4, Ma'at, abstract theory, and in the Sahu man, it is sphere 8, Sebek, concrete intellect. Now, accomplishes through. For the Ba or Ausar man, sphere 3, it is Sekher, the spiritual power. And for Ab man, it is 5, Heru Kuhuti, force. And in the Sahu man, it is sphere 7, Het Heru, imagination. And that is accomplishes through. The next is initiates action through. For the Ba or Ausar man, it is sphere 2, which is Tehuti, divine will. For the Ab man, it is sphere 6, personal will, and that is Heru. And for the Sahu man, it is sphere 7, desire, and 7 is Het Heru. Ausar, the fully developed man or perfect man. We must understand that the true meaning of perfection is to be complete. Only when you have a means of identifying all the parts making up man, such as the tree of life, can you accurately speak of perfection. In the Ausar man, all spheres are fully awakened and developed. The chief faculties of the Ausar man: Amen, Ausar Tehuti, and Sekher. The influence from the Amen faculty. As a result of being able to repeatedly bring his or her consciousness to the subjective realm, the Ausar man is able to realize two of the most important facts of life. The first is that the continuity of consciousness that you experience as yourself is immaterial. It sees but cannot be seen itself. It hears but cannot be heard itself, and so on. This essential aspect of the self has been symbolized as Amen and Atem in the Kemetic tradition, and its corresponding state as Seket Hetepu, Asamprajnata Sarvikalpa Nirvana in the Hindu, and Ein Sof in the Canaanite Kabbalah. The other is that the energy basis of the body, mind, and spirit is essentially unconditioned and inactive. This is the realization of the new state of our energy/matter. There is not a single emotional or sensual manifestation that is intrinsic to our being. Hence, the Ausar man is free of all emotional coercion and temptation. There are no patterns of likes or dislikes, limitations and inclinations to define his personality. He is free to respond to any situation with the appropriate response. That is why Ausar is depicted as a mummy. He is incorruptible. A great bonus is the transcending of the quest for happiness through accomplishments and acquisitions. The unshakable peace that is experienced at this level totally obliterates the tensions generated by the animal division of the spirit that we seek to resolve under the guise of happiness. Out of this experience of the essential state of being comes the realization of one's infinite ability to achieve. This is so different from the school of positive thinking that encourages such beliefs in people who identify with the limited parts of their being: the person, the physical body, the emotional complex, etc. The influence from the Ausar faculty. The focus of consciousness you experience as yourself is Ausar. The most important thing you must know about it is that it is an immaterial reality. Therefore, it cannot be divided, multiplied, or bound. It is therefore one and the same consciousness residing in all living things. The illusion of there being separate foci of consciousness can be explained by the following analogy. Picture a light shining through yellow and blue windows. Now imagine that this light is conscious. It comes out as a yellow light on the other side of one window and a blue on the other side of the other window. Noting the differences between each other and knowing nothing of the one light from which they came, they will conclude that they are wholly separate. To realize that they are extracts from the same light, they must refocus themselves on the other side of the windows. Now, substitute the different types of physical bodies for the windows and consciousness for the lights. To realize the oneness, we must withdraw the consciousness to the other side of the physical body. As a result of being able to repeatedly bring her or his consciousness to the Ausar faculty, one is able to experience one's oneness with all other creatures, omnipresence. This is an experience and not the mere intellectual notion of or belief in our oneness. A sober analysis of history will show that all teachings and exhortations toward the realization of oneness cannot accomplish the goal. Peace on earth can only be achieved by the dedication of all nations to the establishment of a social order based on guiding every citizen to the realization of Ausar. We will see in the chapters on initiation that it is not necessary for everyone to attain to Ausar to reap this benefit. The mere wholehearted dedication to the objective is enough to bring about significant benefits in this direction. Strongly dependent on peace among men is prosperity. It cannot be argued that the greatest hindrance to prosperity is war. Imagine where the world would be today had not the great civilizations been destroyed, and so much of the world's resources, human and otherwise, wasted in the facilitation of warfare. We must understand this in spite of Satan's claim that the pursuit of war has done so much for mankind by inspiring more inventions than anything else. The influence from the Tehuti faculty. The God, quotes, Tehuti is man's wisdom faculty. It is the faculty through which the Ausar man gains knowledge about the world. Unlike the intellect, this faculty does not provide knowledge by thinking, manipulating verbal and graphic symbols which stand in for the realities in the world, but by direct perception of reality. Thus, unlike the Sahu and the Ab men, whose knowledge is constituted by the knowledge of ideas about reality, the Ausar man knows reality itself. The awakening and functioning of this faculty depends on the perfection of the ability to shut down the thinking process. This is achieved in the higher stages of meditation and initiation. The influence from the Sekher faculty. Sekher is the faculty through which the Ausar man accomplishes his or her objectives in life. Unlike the faculties available to the Sahu and Ab man, this faculty acts on the very core of the causes of events in the world. This is spiritual power. It is manipulated through the concentration by repetition of sounds while in a state of trance. We must appreciate the fact that this faculty, with its unlimited power, hence potential for the greatest harm if misused, is part of a personality unit that is wise, Tehuti, that experiences all things as part of itself, Ausar, hence unthreatened by nothing, and is at peace in all possible situations. Amen. Incidentally, we must note how the tree of life enables us to think and communicate about man's being in such an accurate and orderly manner. Incidentally, we must always keep in mind that the spiritual power of Sekher has nothing to do with the metaphysical powers derived from manipulating roots, sacrificing animals, and such other substances, although there is a place for the legitimate use of such a process.